Hi, this is Emma from Emma Space Lynn, and welcome to our Introduction to Film Cinematography unit. Today we'll discuss what a long take is, how it's accomplished, and how it functions in films. A shot is a series of frames uninterrupted by a cut. A long take is generally considered a shot that is over 1 minute long. Long take is often confused with long shot. While the words shot and take are often interchangeable, a take refers to the editing in a film, while a shot refers to how something is filmed. Today we are talking about long takes, when a significant amount of time passes between cuts, not long shots, which refers to something being filmed at a distance. The majority of shots in films are actually under 15 seconds long. In fact, the average shot length, or the ASL, in films has shifted dramatically from 12 seconds in 1930 to only 2.5 seconds in 2010. This is why long takes are particularly noteworthy, because 2.5 seconds is very different from something over 1 minute long. Long takes are both technically impressive and dramatically change the pace in a film. Long takes require a lot of effort for a few reasons. First, the longer a shot goes on, the more that can go wrong. An actor can forget their lines, or we can get a glimpse of film equipment we shouldn't be seeing. It is so much easier to chop up a scene into short chunks and film it that way. For example, the film Long Day's Journey into Night ends with a 59-minute long take. During this take, a couple of the characters play a game of ping pong. The narrative of the film depends on one of the characters winning the ping pong match. If that character misses, the crew must start the whole take over again. Second, long takes are difficult to achieve if there's a lot of movement because you have to hide the entire film crew and all of the film equipment from the camera. It's hard to explore an entire space and hide such a big operation like a film set. These long takes require the directors, assistant directors, camera team, camera equipment, lighting equipment, and more to all remain out of frame. Third, long takes require extensive choreography and blocking, not only on the part of the film crew, but the actors as well. Take this example in Pride and Prejudice. We follow our main character Lizzie throughout this dance. We leave Lizzie for a moment to check in on her sister Mary and her father at the piano. Then we back up as we see Mr. Collins looking for Lizzie. Then her sister Jane and Mr. Bingley come into frame, and we back up and follow them for a while. Then we stop, tilt up, and check in on her mother. Then we go over to see Mr. Darcy and Mr. Collins looking for Lizzie. Then Lizzie's sisters Kitty and Lydia come into frame, and we back up and follow them. Then we go across several people dancing. We finally check back in with Lizzie, who knows exactly when to say her line, and this is only halfway through the long take. The shot continues to check in with all of the characters a second time, finally ending with Lizzie taking a moment for herself outside of the party. The blocking of this scene is incredibly complex, but it is an effective way to check in with our characters and make us feel as if we are attending the party ourselves. Long takes in action films are actually really impressive because all of the fight choreography and stunt work can't be hidden by cuts. Everything has to be perfect in order for the shot to be pulled off. Take, for example, this fight scene in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. These takes are often under 5 seconds long. If a stuntman or actor makes a wrong move, it's easy to start over because you only need to reshoot a few seconds. The rapid-paced cuts also make the scene more chaotic, and it can be hard to tell exactly what's going on. Because of this, not every piece of fight choreography has to be perfect because our brains can fill in what the film doesn't show. But in this long take in Oldboy, each punch and swing has to be perfect because absolutely nothing is hidden by cuts. If something goes wrong, the whole scene has to be reshot from scratch. It is also difficult because the camera is so far away from the action due to the fact that there are so many actors in the shot. Here, the fight choreography is additionally complicated with so many moving pieces. This is why one-take action scenes are so difficult to pull off. Long takes work really well when it comes to immersing us into the world of a film, because we feel like we're actually there with the characters. In this long take in Atonement, we are experiencing Dunkirk in real time. We're walking around with the characters, seeing what they see, and feeling what they feel. By more closely mimicking the characters' real-time experience, the film helps us effectively feel what it's like to be on the beaches of Dunkirk. Sorry, Christopher Nolan. Long takes are also really good at building tension. In this very famous long take in Touch of Evil, the shot begins with a man putting a bomb into the trunk of a car. We then see a couple get into that car and drive through the streets of Mexico. We are incredibly on edge because we are forced to experience that scene in real time and have no idea when the bomb is going to go off. We have to sit anxiously for the entire 3 minutes. When people talk about one-take films, there are 2 different kinds. First, we have true one-take films that are actually filmed in one continuous take. We've talked about how difficult long takes are that are only 5 minutes long, so we can imagine how difficult entire films would be to pull off. These films are very famous for being filmed in one take, that being a major advertising point for audiences. In the film Victoria, we follow a young Spanish woman at a club who meets a group of German men. She befriends them and is eventually wrapped up in their bank robbery. Victoria's one take works in a number of ways. First, the film draws attention to the fact that they are only one shot by constantly shifting locations to show off how complicated the whole operation is. Second, Victoria's long take allows us to get to know the group of men at the same pace as Victoria. This allows us to empathize with exactly how she gets into the situation because we experienced it exactly as she did. As cool as this one take is, oftentimes the camera is very shaky and it can be hard to tell what's going on. Also, because there are no cuts, sometimes the film can drag. Editing is very useful if you want a film that is fast-paced. The second type of one-take films are films that look like they're filmed in one take, but actually have cuts that are hidden. These films are not really filmed in one take. Usually the film films large chunks in one take, but will occasionally make a cut when the screen goes dark. An example of this is in Alfred Hitchcock's Rope, which takes place for 1 hour and 20 minutes in the same room. Nowadays, with digital cameras and hard drives, we can film for hours and hours at a time. However, Rope is forced to make cuts because of the limitation of film reels. Shots could only be filmed for about 10 minutes at a time before they were forced to cut. These cuts often occur when the camera crosses behind a character with their back blocking out the screen. What is significant about Rope is that there are very few unmasked cuts throughout the film, but when they occur, it's always for a very specific purpose. An example of this occurs about halfway through the film, when James Stewart realizes something is very wrong. By masking the cuts to resemble one long take except for a select few, the film emphasizes the significance of those moments in the film. Let's look at a more recent example. The film 1917 revolves around 2 soldiers in World War I on a time-sensitive mission. The film is shot to look like one continuous take. Because of this, we feel the urgency of the mission just the same as the characters, as we are experiencing everything in real time with them. 1917's long takes also allow us to feel as if we're in the trenches, exploring houses, or running away from danger with the characters. In this way, the camera almost feels like a third character. It's easy for long takes to be impressive, but we really should be thinking about how it's serving the film. Is the shot emphasizing something in particular? Is it building tension? Is it allowing us to empathize with the characters a little more? Is it allowing us to experience the event in real time? We really need to think if the long take is showing off or if it's actually contributing to the themes of the film. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more film studies content. If you guys want a topic covered in a future video, please leave it in the comments. Thanks, we'll see you next time.